Usai made a mess, keep up at the jet. I'm about to catch, I double the bed.
What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Alright, so before I even dig into about this blue lotus and really start smoking it and consuming it to show you viewers how it affects me, I first want to tell you about how it even started, how I even saw it in the very beginning. Alright, so I just came back to my hometown, having a real good time, but my big tragedy of the day was my dab rig broke. Now, normally that's a big, oh man, but there was a head shop right by my house. So of course, I want to check it out. I want to see if I can get me a little dab rig, get me something that would help me just smoke my dabs at least for one night. So anyways, I hop up in there. Normally there's a couple of younger dudes and a younger girl who works there, but this time it was a slightly older dude. I want to say about his 40s. I see how he's doing. I start asking him about dab rigs, and I asked him how long he's been working there, and he told me that he was the owner. I was like, oh shit, alright, bet. He really's gotta know his stuff. He's gonna help me find whatever I need for today. So anyways, I asked him about a dab rig, and he's showing me some stuff. It's nothing really that I want. I was being a little bit prickly, a little bit of a chooser, you must say. Anyways though, I'm looking around, and I see a thing that said 7 ohms. Now, my heart dropped. And if you don't know why my heart dropped and shattered, then you need to check out one of my recent videos that I dropped about 7 ohms. Something very bad, something I can see very harmful to a community, especially the younger generation. But anyways, right beside of the 7 ohms, there was something called psychoactive blue lotus. And that's what it said on the little sticker. And it almost looked like little plastic genie bottles with a whole bunch of purple blue flowers in it. Of course, this piqued my curiosity. I've never seen such a thing, never heard of it. And of course, right beside the 7 ohms, kind of made me feel a little bit sketchy, of course. So I start asking the owner about it. And he's telling me how it's a great product, how multiple people use it. He's basically just giving me the whole sale pitch. He's wanting me to get it bad, and I mean bad. So, I ask him, what is in this? Is it just the blue purple lotus flower, or is there stuff added to it? What is this? And he proceeded to tell me that this was blue marijuana. Now, I don't know how to tell you this in a nice way, but it's a flower, but it's not flour. Alright, let's just get it straight. Let's get it even. I was really taken off by this, really confused by what he said. Almost wanted to argue with him. But I decided that there's no point arguing with somebody who doesn't know what product they're selling on their own shelves. So, I didn't know nothing about the product. So, I told him, hey, I'll get a bottle. So anyways, y'all, I want to tell you all about some history, about some facts, and about what this drug can do to you, good and bad. So, let's get into it. So, let's talk about the history first of the psychedelic blue lotus. Now, blue lotus is an ancient Egyptian plant that was used in ceremonies, rebirths, marriages, you name it. They was even buried with it. Now, the name that it refers to is Nymphaea cerealia. Now, it took me forever to pronounce it right, but hey, I'm a little bit special. But them, they might not have been so special, because Nymphaea Cerealia is actually supposed to give you an enlightened stance, like something where you almost feel a little bit magical, something where it would almost enhance the function, they say. Now, this symbolized the rebirth, sun, the moon, water. So, the blue lotus, at least for the Egyptian, went much, much more deeper than just a high as it does for us. It symbolized all kinds of things. So, little fun fact about the history of them. I watched a whole 2-hour documentary about it. And the whole documentary talked about Egyptians fucking on Blue Lotus. Apparently, for the men of the Egyptians, they used to like to, do a little bit. It was the Egyptian blue chew, if you must say. So, little history for you right there. But that's where it originated from, was Egypt. Now you can find it in parts of Florida and a few areas in Texas. It is a plant that likes full sunlight, it likes its heat, so, makes sense why it originated from Egypt, and makes sense why it's only growing in some of the more hotter areas. Alright, let's talk about some of the facts of the blue lotus plant. It is actually one of the 1 out of 7 most sacred plants around the world, just because it has been used with multiple spiritual things, including witchcraft, including Egyptian mythology, and even has some roots with Buddhism. Also, the blue lotus sometimes is not blue. Sometimes it can be a dark purple or even a white. Now, Russia, Poland, if any of y'all want to smoke it out there, well, y'all shit out of luck. It was actually became illegalized in Russia in 2009. Also, same with Poland as well in 2009. So, I don't know. Maybe Putin had a bad batch. Let's talk about the good and the bad. Now, there is a lot of controversial about this plant. A lot of people don't like the idea of this plant being around. A lot of other people really enjoy that it's around. And I hope most of everybody else really just don't know what the fuck it is. So, the reason why it's controversial is because, like I was saying previously, it is not even the real blue lotus plant. In fact, the owner was actually halfway right when he told me it was marijuana. Now, what I'm about to smoke and drink might not even be the real flower itself. I have no way of telling. I would probably have to send it to some scientist or whatever. I have no fucking idea how I would even verify. I looked up the company. I looked up everything about it. Has hardly no information about it. But what I can probably assure you most likely, from what I've been reading, it's probably been laced with some type of synthetic marijuana. So it could possibly just have like a little bit of hemp or whatever, THC9, Delta 8, whatever. It's really just a little bit of a spin your own wheel of luck when it comes to this. Now, not saying y'all shouldn't try it, not saying y'all should try it. Ain't your mama, ain't your daddy. But I really don't like the idea of somebody putting something in a natural plant. And, it really just, it kind of brings me back almost to the 7 ohms feeling. You know, 7 ohms was originally kratom, and then they took kratom, synthesized it, and turned it into 7 ohms. Now all of a sudden it's having all these bad effects and is doing complete opposite of what kratom really does. So, let's talk good about this Blue Lotus. Let's see. Now, a lot of people say it has a high sexual performance. Like I was saying earlier, hey, it's the blue chew for the Egyptians. It also has a really enhanced meditation. Now, what I mean by that is it is supposed to make you feel relaxed. It's supposed to make you feel good. But with some of the bad, it also describes parts of anxiety. Now, when I think about it, I kind of wonder, is that even the Blue Lotus making you feel that way? Or is that maybe a Delta or whatever else they tossed in with it? So, I don't know. I really can't tell you my own personal review until I try this. Well, actually, I'm making this video after. So, I can kind of tell you the review right now. But, you know, I want to save it to the end. Hey, hold your horses. Hey, relax. But, anyways, it's definitely got some good. It's definitely got some bad. But, I think it's time to give it a try. And let's see what you all think about it. We are back, y'all. Now is the time that you all have waited for. It is time for me to smoke, and I'm also gonna drink some Psychic Blue Lily tea. Now, this is, do I want to say grotesque or disgusting looking? I honestly don't know. It's got a very pea yellow color to it, but hey, I'm just gonna imagine it like tea. Now, I really don't know how much I am supposed to ingest. It has no warning labels. The only warning labels it has is to not be under the influence while under a motor vehicle or if you're pregnant. So, hey, I don't really know. But, let's see. Alright, so let's get the first puff in. Okay, now I will say, it does strangely almost taste like a mix of paper and THC. But, I can already tell you that there is no THC, no nothing like it. Just telling you how it tastes like from first rip. Now, since we've smoked a little bit of it, let's get a little bit of this in us. Okay. Now, I really don't know how long it takes in effect. I have done some research, said that could hit anywhere from 10 to an hour. I have no idea. Honestly, there's not enough research about this. This is not FDA approved. So, I'm kind of just trying to test it out like a guinea pig. Mostly because I want to make sure if it is bad, that y'all shouldn't try this. I'm also going to blur and fast forward a lot of this part right here. Mostly because I don't want to be talking throughout the whole entire video while I'm also smoking and drinking some of this. I probably won't be drinking all of this or smoking all of this just for my safety, but let's see how it takes us.
That's the whole reason why I wanted to do the video, was just to put them in one he tried to tell me it was THCA. That's why no.
Alright, good morning guys. So, as y'all just seen in a previous clip, I tried to drink some of the psychic blue lilies and smoke some of the psychic blue lilies. Now, I updated you all on a later clip about it starting to hit me, that high was starting to come up the mountain. And, I was about to update you all on the peak of it when I was on top of the mountain. But for me, I personally did not have no peak, did not have nothing with it. I even tried to drink more of it. I thought maybe I didn't do enough, but after everything, it was 3.5 that I done. Now, I wouldn't say this is dangerous, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily safe either. Mostly because I never was ID'd with it in the very beginning, and even though I am 26 years old, my birthday was yesterday, bitches. Little psychic blue lily birthday trip. But anyways, I'm 26 years old, I'm old enough to make my own decisions. But what about if there was like a 16, 17-year-old with some facial hair and looked above the age 21? I don't really like that type of idea. So, on a scale 1 to 10 from the head shop perspective, I give them a 0. Had no idea what they was talking about. Didn't ID me, just a flat out 0. Now, if we want to go from a 1 to 10 on the high perspective, I'd give it a good 6, I mean, it's not a real big high, but it's a nice something to relax you, something that will get you feeling good. I read everything about it. It said how it could cause chest pain, how it could cause anxiety, how it could cause kind of all the normal stuff that even marijuana says online when you look it up about the health hazards. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was dangerous. 1 to 10 from my personal perspective. Of course, I am not licensed. I'm not no damn doctor. Guys, I'm just a shitty YouTuber. I would give it a 5. you know. Maybe a 6 on safety, you know. I really don't know, you know, per se. Maybe it would affect somebody different. Maybe I'm just that guy who can take it easy. But, yeah, fun experience. If you're over the age of 21, if you want, go for it. I ain't your mama. But definitely don't do it if you're under the age of 21. You know, be legal, be safe. But, anyways, guys, I wanted to update you all about the blue lilies. I hope y'all had a great time watching this video. If y'all want to see me trying any type of new stuff, give me a comment below. A lot of the things that were kind of censored and shit, I just have to do that because of YouTube. Definitely different type of YouTube video than what my stories are and stuff. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. And if y'all did, subscribe, there we go. Subscribe and like. And give me a comment. Peace, y'all.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.